YouTube is everything. It like you don't even need cable. You can find anything you need.
Right? Yeah.
So what I wanted to do is just quickly describe what's going on. I know you came in with the issues of the other nails being abnormal shaped. We talked about that briefly, how they've been traumatized, they've been damaged, and that's why they're going bumpy, uneven, and that's a permanent change. Now this guy's a little bit different. You had trauma from that huge cast iron stove.
Yeah.
Falling on it, right? Oh my, how many pounds? 500?
500 degrees.
Oh, 500 degrees.
Yes,
oh my
thankfully
God.
not 500 pounds, but 500 degrees preheated.
Oh my gosh. Did you feel heat at all, or is it just pain?
No. Immediately, I just felt shocked, and I think my adrenaline kicked in. Yeah.
Nail became lifted, and it was like that for how long?
About like 6 months or so.
And you just had constant pus coming out. You saw a few other foot specialists.
Yep.
And they just said, let it grow out, or just let it be, right?
Yep.
What they were expecting was, as damaged nails happen sometimes, or they become lifted, they just push on out, and a new nail grows in. But when we have sometimes the nail underneath the cuticle become lifted, it becomes detached, and it doesn't push out anymore, and it just sits there. And then you get a pocket of pus, you get basically an abscess, you get this non-healing wound, and that actually puts further pressure on the nail bed, creating a then permanently damaged toenail.
Yeah.
You've been picking at it. I know you've been trying to help it, which is nothing wrong to get it out, but this is so far deep. You can see how far that redness is.
Yeah.
That's probably how deep that nail's been injured, and something's probably underneath there.
Oh, wow.
You can see the nail itself has lines, it's damaged, it's thick. That nail will probably never grow the same again. So what we're gonna try to do, instead of removing this nail forever, you're a young girl, we want you to have a toenail. I think it's just the remnants of something left behind. I told you I might follow that cut, but if I see it's really wide, I might just trim just the corner.
Yeah.
Put the acid only in that, so we just save some of the nail.
Okay.
And once that remnants is out, everything will go back to normal. Literally, you just had this lifted nail underneath the skin that damaged it. Something's still in there and it hasn't come out yet.
Okay.
Okay? So here we are.
Yeah. I was hoping it would always just keep growing out and that it would heal up and that it would be fine,
But again, you saw other professionals, right?
I did. I saw 2 other podiatrists.
And did anyone numb the toe? Did they try to check underneath? They just looked at it?
Nope, just looked at it. They didn't clean it, nothing. They just looked at it, examined it, and that was that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very common issue that I see where the nail gets damaged and lifted, and it doesn't push out, and people are just saying, just let it grow out, let it grow out. But when it becomes too detached underneath the skin, it doesn't push out anymore. It's like it's not alive.
Right.
And so it's just sitting there. And obviously there's an open wound, so it gets infected, and then you just have this wound that just sits there.
Yeah.
And you were pushing out pus before, right?
Oh yeah, on and off for a long time. Yep. I've just been in this like cycle of infection.
And that's because there's something irritating or stopping the body from healing, and that's the nail that's stuck underneath.
Okay.
And obviously there's only so much self-surgery you can do.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sure
I don't recommend now after having done it. I don't think it's a good idea.
So this is a tourniquet. So there's very little to no blood, so we can see everything very clearly. So we can have a little bit of investigation what's going on.
Yeah.
But you already removed all the good pus, I can tell, huh?
I know, I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
didn't save the good stuff.
That's okay, this is good, this is good. This is
It's
good.
like popping zits before a facial. Don't do it.
So I'm gonna do a little check. Anything sharp here?
Nope.
Down here?
Nope.
Okay, so you're pretty numb. So just seeing what's going on. All that abnormal tissue. You can see usually in the procedures, you don't see a lot of blood. You see how this one's bleeding already a lot?
Yeah.
It's because it's very abnormal tissue that's here.
Okay. That makes sense because, like I had described before, I've been trying to keep it healthy by soaking it and then putting topical antibiotic ointment on it. But even just touching it would often, like, just if I even bumped it or I didn't bandage it well and my sock caught on it, it would bleed a ton.
Man, you really got deep in here.
I know. It's not good that I have a pretty high tolerance for.
Did you rip out a lot of nail that was underneath?
Yeah. A lot.
A lot, huh?
To me, genuinely, it didn't like feel like a lot at the time because it was in so much pain, and I have pretty strong clippers.
Yep.
And so the nail had already lifted on the side, so it's not like it had to detach, so it actually didn't hurt that much. And then I just
When was that?
down to the root, and then.
And when was that?
That was before Christmas. That was about like, I don't know, like 4 weeks ago.
And since then, it's been much better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you had seen it prior to that, it's rather disturbing what it had looked like. This is going to be the lamest video.
No, it's not
Should've
lame.
saved
So
it.
what happened, so this is what we're going to do. There's
Okay.
no nail that's going on underneath, but there's all this abnormal tissue.
Okay.
I'm going to clear it out. I don't see any nail left behind. It looks like you actually got rid of all of it. But I'm going to put the
Wow.
acid here to stop it from ever coming back.
Okay.
The nail over here is damaged as well. You can see, you see how it's chipped?
Yes.
There's nothing past here. I'm going to remove the nail, clear it all out, but we're not putting acid in that corner.
Okay.
But I just need to clear out all this bad tissue, this abnormal hypergranulation tissue. Make sure there's nothing left behind. Put the acid just in that one corner, and then we'll be allowing the rest of the nail to grow out.
Okay.
Because this is the problematic area, and this is that bad tissue that's almost like blocking normal healing from happening.
Yeah.
You're making me work today. This is
Yes.
this is not just a simple one. This is it was for first day back too. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
jeez.
So again, I'm really feeling around. I don't feel
Any nail?
any nail whatsoever.
I'm weirdly proud of myself, but it would have been better if I just come in, and I do know that. I'm not just saying that
No,
to
no,
suck
no,
up.
but
Like, I do know it would
The
have
problem
been better.
again, you saw other people. You saw
Yeah.
other people. They told you to wait. You've been waiting, and it's just not getting better.
Yeah. I got so frustrated that I just wanted to get the pain over with.
So this is what we call hypergranulation tissue.
That's skin.
That is skin.
Oh, wow.
So that's what was been building up for a while.
Yeah.
And it becomes hard and rubbery,
Uh-huh.
like a scar,
Okay.
like a fibroma, like a rubbery growth. And
Okay.
then, because that's grown there, your body can't heal with normal tissue again.
Okay.
So you see the cycle?
Yeah.
So now that it has this abnormal tissue there, it tries to heal that, but it can't heal that, so then it gets even more tissue growing. So it's this vicious cycle of all this bad tissue growth.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So basically cleaning out that whole area. No pain?
No?
Good show?
Yeah, good show. This is my toes big break. This is my toes big moment.
Crazy though, all this abnormal tissue.
So I thought that was nail. Like, to look at it, not knowing, I thought, like, touching it, I was like, oh, it just must be like nail.
So you kept picking at it.
Yep. Yeah.
And so that would also aggravate the wound.
Yeah. Because when I say, like, oh, I clipped it out before Christmas, as I'm sure you can tell, I tried clipping it before, but then I left it alone for a long time. and then it wasn't, I didn't do the big clip out until before the holidays.
The clip out.
Yes.
It had its own name for the event.
It kind of felt like an event.
For sure was. You did this all on your own?
I did.
You
Yes.
You didn't film it?
I didn't. I should have. My sister was bummed. My younger sister actually loves these kinds of things, so she was really disappointed. Yeah. Yeah, I sterilized everything. I took it very seriously. I had like isopropyl alcohol. I was just like convinced I was gonna do it, but then when it didn't go well, I was like, okay, well, I need to actually see someone that went to school for this.
So unbelievable deep pocket here. Look at that hole.
That is bizarre.
So that was all that abnormal tissue. So now
That wasn't nail. That was tissue.
tissue. Yeah,
Oh, that is so bizarre.
yeah. So cleaning it all out. So we're gonna apply the acid here in this
Okay.
corner. I'm gonna remove the rest, clean out this side because I don't want to damage too much that side.
Right.
And then we'll let the new nail grow in. Like we
Okay.
talked about, anytime we have severe trauma like this, the nail's always gonna grow back funky, but
Okay.
at least we can manage it with what we talked about, whether with artificial nail, routine pedicures,
Okay.
buffing or filing of the nail. And then
Okay.
let's say if it's really aggravating you with the way it looks or the maintenance, that's when we remove the
Right.
whole thing forever.
Okay.
So I'm literally just applying it in the corner where I just don't want any sort of ingrown to come back.
Isn't it funny psychologically? I know it's numb, but when you put the acid, I was like, it feels warm, and it doesn't. It's like a mental thing that I feel like it should.
It should.
Yes, that is so weird because I know I really don't feel anything. It's mind over matter. That is so bizarre.
That was a lot of tissue in there.
That is a lot of tissue. Good thing I have a mask on because I have like this gross smile. Like I'm so happy it's
I can
out.
see it. I can see it. I can see it.
I'm so relieved because then I'm not like tempted to touch it. That's the thing. It's like when you get it treated, then you're like, okay.
Did you ever push really far back as well?
Yeah.
So also what happens, that separates the skin from the tissue underneath and creates more of a space. And of course, that's when we have more of that bad tissue fill in that space. So that's why what we're gonna hope to have is the antibiotic kills anything that's left behind. Now there's no more abnormal tissue that could be irritating the healing process. There's no more nail that's gonna grow back there to possibly again irritate the wound, and then we just let it heal up.
Okay.
Now if, sorry?
Yeah, sorry.
No,
To not touch
yeah.
it.
If in a couple months, 4 to 6 months, that's how long we should see maybe half of a nail start to grow out.
Okay.
If there's a nail there. If you see the wound come back, it starts to become infected again, when you see that pocket, it means that there's something left behind, and unfortunately that would be the stage to say, you know what, you have to come back in to remove the whole nail completely,
Okay.
because something's irritating it.
Yeah. Nope, that makes sense.
Yeah, wound care like this is with the toes is relatively simple, is that if the wound's not healing because something's irritating it, so
Okay.
and it's usually the nail.
Or the person.
Or the person for sure. But we're gonna eliminate that. We're gonna eliminate
the
that.
person is not gonna touch it.
Crazy.
That is insane. I feel like my toes.
And I can tell,
golfing.
see, I can actually push this further, which means you've really opened it up. The nail matrix only is kind of, you see where the rubber band is?
Yeah.
Just in front of that. So the fact that I can go further, even deeper, I know you've really been pushing into it,
Yeah.
and that's what really irritated it as well.
Okay. Okay.
But now that it's cleaned out, we have a fresh start. New year, new toe.
Yep.
This is rubbing alcohol to neutralize that acid.
That's good.
And then I'm gonna check the rest of the toenail, because you see there's some abnormal tissue there as well.
Absolutely.
So I think it's best to remove it. You actually had a nail surgery on that side,
Yeah.
so no nail's gonna grow back on that corner.
Yeah.
No pain?
None.
Really freaky, huh?
It is. It's oddly unnerving. It's easier though to watch than to not watch. Like
Really?
you know when something's happening to you, I feel like imagination is worse than what's actually happening.
Yeah, because people are like freaking out, like what's going on?
Yeah.
So you can see there's really no depth to that nail, right? It was right there. Usually
Yeah.
you go further, so it's either been trimmed out, damaged.
Or not growing.
Yes.
Oh jeez. And then it's like bluish black there.
Well, that's kind of with the acid that we
Okay.
use and the tissue, but I can still see all this abnormal tissue just in that spot. Where it came from that too.
I can't believe it's that simple to have a nail removed and that had the initial treatment just been.
Yes.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. We would have just popped it off the day that we saw it, and then you would have been A-okay.
Wow.
So,
Let this be a
yes.
cautionary tale.
If your toenail's not growing and it's pussy, it has to go.
Yeah.
So just making it nice and smooth. You can see all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Oh, I love it. So I'm enjoying myself.
Okay, good.
This is good.
Sorry I didn't save the pus for you.
That's okay. That's okay. Thank you very much. It's like a cake without icing. I'm okay with it. The cake's good enough. Some people like a lot of icing. I just like the cake. So I'm gonna get this bad cuticle off. Crazy.
Yeah.
But it was so unhealthy.
Yeah.
So here, see how I can't go further than this?
Yeah.
And here is going so deep. You
Yeah.
really opened it up. I'm impressed actually to do that without anesthetic. That's actually more impressive to me.
Oh, well, I don't know, impressive or obsessive.
That's
That's my one problem in life is that when I do something, I'm just all in. I'm not a moderate
See,
person.
you see how it doesn't go further?
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. And here, you see it's going really deep. You really open it up. So the hope is we don't have any new nail that's irritating. We have all that bad tissue gone.
Okay.
Now, when we do remove a whole nail, when you're caring for it, now this is the aftercare, you want to use a lot of cream so
Okay.
the gauze doesn't get stuck to the toe.
Okay.
Now, if you're home not going anywhere, I would use gauze, cream and a Band-Aid.
Okay.
Just so the Band-Aids have that
Oh, like this anti-stick
anti-stick,
almost.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just thinking about how much fun that was.
Okay.
Anti-stick, so use the cream and the Band-Aid. But if it is bleeding, which is normal for 1 to 2 days, then you can use the gauze, just use a lot of cream on top.
Okay.
So since you are traveling for a little bit, I would say, later tonight, if it's not bleeding through, you can leave it. If there is blood through the gauze, then change it tonight.
Okay.
Okay? Now, the first time you'll change it will be tomorrow morning.
Okay.
You go into the shower with the bandage on, then you take everything off and then put on a new bandage.
After the shower.
Yes.
Okay.
Morning and night for 1 week.
Okay. Morning and night, 1 week. Sounds good.
That was it.
Yeah, I should have brought in my sandals. I brought Birkenstocks just in case, but they're in the car.
Okay,
So
you're gonna jam the foot in there
I
because
am.
the toe's numb.
Yeah.
So you're feeling it. And then when you get in the car, be very careful taking off the shoe.
Okay.
Okay. And that's it. We're gonna see 2 sets of pictures in a week and 6 weeks. So see where you're at.
Okay.
Okay. That was very interesting. This was not just like a normal little piece. You cleaned it out so well that it was just so much damage. But that's why it has been getting better. You cleared it out, but we needed to get the skin out. So now it's a fresh start.
Thank you. I'm relieved.